And I'm going to try and keep this down to 3 minutes. I made a video about me and my mate being total assholes in sproggs in Northern Ireland when we didn't know fuck all, right? I'm in Iraq now, 20 odd years later, you know. And my boys are driving out the gate. I decided I would go along with them because I had to go and meet someone. So I was hitching a lift with them, right? So they're driving out the fucking gate. It took them forever to get out of the gate. They couldn't work out weapons. They couldn't pick up weapons on time. They couldn't fucking do anything on time. They were dreadful, right? By this time I knew my shit. So we got out, we're driving out the camp gates and there's an alarm going off and I'm going, is anybody going to do anything about that alarm? That's electronic countermeasures alarm. That means the unit isn't working right. And they went, no, it's all right. Always works. I goes, fuck off. And I made them reverse the car, U-turn the car, and we drove back in the camp. He says, get a fucking new unit. I'm not driving out with you cunts in a fucking vehicle that doesn't have working ECM equipment in it. Okay? ECM equipment, electronic countermeasures, stops bombs blowing up in your local area. Okay? Pretty important shit. So, I fucking, we went back, we changed it out, we got a fucking working piece of kit that wasn't alarming. So we fucking got out, next minute, got a puncture, right? Now, they pulled over to the road. I'm in here as I'm a VIP, you know what I mean? I was a warrant officer. And I'm a VIP. I'm supposed to be, these guys are looking after me, knowing what the fuck they're doing. Fucking truth is, they didn't have a fucking clue what they were doing. They were worse than me back in the day. And this is in a danger zone. This is gonna go over again. It's only gonna be 5 minutes, so don't sweat it. So we pulled over, right? And they all jumped out of the vehicle and started milling around. Some of them sparked up a fag and that, and you know. I got out of the vehicle and I goes, guys, what are you doing? And said, well, we're gonna change the tire, you know, it's no big deal. I said, do you know where you fucking are? Well, no, not entirely. GPS generation, you know, they hadn't got a fucking clue where they were. They didn't know to radio in and say, we've broken down on roadside, this is our grid, we're about to change a tire, blah, 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 in case anything happens. I says, don't you think you should fucking do something like that? Well, we don't normally do it, you know, we just fucking mill around, you know. They didn't say mill around, but they said, oh, we don't worry about it, it's a quick job, it'll be over and done in a minute. I said, guys, right, enough's enough. Stop behaving like fucking children. Get down, give me fucking all-round offence. Do 5 and 20 metre checks. If you don't know what a 5 and 20 metre check is, then that means look around for 5 metres, go out again, look out around 20 metres, then lie down in the centre spot and observe the enemy and give me a fucking all-round defence. And they went, what the fuck? What's got up his ass? You know, it was almost like that. They were like, I could see it in their faces, but they never actually had the balls to say it. So they all fucking did it, right? Well, one of them worked on the tire. There's a sheep herder walking across, and I'm on the PRR, personal rule radio. I goes, all right, guys, anybody see this? We got a guy heading north to south with a bunch of sheep and that. Everybody seen that? And I got, now and again, yeah, okay, I've seen that. Okay, I've seen it. And I goes, guys, the answer is seen. If I asked if you've seen something, you say seen. And you give your name, you know, because you can, PRR is like talking on your phone, you know, PRR. It's like you're talking to your mate and you're going, oh, Jim, did you see fucking, you see that fucking bad boy heading north to south, you know? And then he would come back and say, yeah, I don't think he's a threat, no bother. I'll keep an eye on him. He's crossing into my arcs of fire. And stuff like this. These guys did not know. They'd been trained it, I'll fucking tell you that. But they did not apply it. And I was so fucking disappointed in lads that used to work for me. And it showed me what shit soldiers they were, you know. And these guys, a lot of them there was some of them almost, was there a senior rank among us? I don't think there was. But they had done 4 or 5 years and they were still behaving like babies. Babies in an environment that they didn't really understand and didn't really take seriously, you know? Like, I remember one of the things, the first, and they actually introduced me to it because I'd never seen it before, right? We drove under a big motorway, you know, like a motorway bridge. And while we're halfway through it, they quickly switched lane and came out in another lane. And I'd never seen this before. It's a fucking good idea, like. I'd never seen it before. And I said, guys, why'd you do that? And said, well, in case somebody throws something at us, you know. If we go in on one side of the bridge, they run across to the other side and fucking launch a brick or something down, and it'll come down through a fucking windscreen, and maybe, you know, we'll either crash or potentially die. And I thought, what it did was it harked back to a thing I came across years earlier, many years, in Northern Ireland, called an IAG. Now, an IAG was an IA, IAAG, IAG, yeah, IAG, improvised anti-armor grenade, right? And it was kind of like a big dart, you know. The IRA had built this thing, and it's fucking hats off to them. It's really technical. They built it out of a baked bean tin. Then they packed that baked bean tin with plastic explosive, PE, and then they drove a cone shape up into that thing and then welded it shut around the edge. And then out of that kung sheng, they would put a detonator, and it would have like a broom handle and a grip on the broom handle. So they would chuck it. Once they released the broom handle, they would chuck it down off a bridge on top of police. Now, back in those days, the police used to drive a crappy vehicle called... it wasn't a crappy vehicle, actually. Everybody wanted one. A Sierra, a Ford Sierra. And they used to be armoured, these vehicles. You see this IAG. That's why it was called an IAG. Improvised anti-armoured grenade. What used to happen was that would come down on the top of a police vehicle and it would detonate, and the explosive would drive down on, and it's similar how anti-armoured grenades work to this day, you know. That's probably where they got it from, you know, World War II. It would blast down and turn the cone inside out and turn the cone into a molten lava metal fucking bullet that shot through any armor we had in them days. And then the rest of the explosion blast would just blow the shit out of the vehicle. Anything in it was dead meat, you know. Brutal, like, fucking brutal. I tell you, lads, see half the stuff that's in my head. It's scary that how people can work out how to kill each other. And yet we can't work out how to make sustainable energy properly, can we? Yet, you know. But we can work out how to kill each other with brutal, fucking deadly force. So that was my follow-up to that other video I did the other day. Just to show you that, you know, a load of years later, I actually knew what the fuck I was doing. Unfortunately, my boys didn't. They were a letdown. They really were. They were an embarrassment as well. And yes, actually, I am going to fucking say it as well. There were senior ranks there that I used to work with. And they never took command of the situation. They waited for me. And I was a warrant in them days. Warrant officer. Warrant officer doesn't take command of a situation, you know. He's there. He should be getting looked after by his sergeants, his senior NCOs, you know. They're there fucking looking out, telling guys what to do. Nah, I had to fucking do it. So, stay mo, move fast, move fast, and enjoy the rest of your day. Stay low, move fast, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks very much for watching. I'm going to finish off my vino here and go to bed. Good night, boys. Wrong. Good night, folks.